You know, there are certain times when you really just need to take a pause, and you really need to just turn around to everybody who's helped you along the way and just say a very heartfelt thank you. I'm Dean Cifola, and this is the Azure Academy. This video, in celebration of the 100th video on the Azure Academy, we just want to take a moment here to say thank you to everybody as we've been creating this content on the Azure Academy. And of course, all of our videos are totally free and you can share them with anybody you like. We're just trying to help everybody learn about Azure. And so I'll just give you some quick updates to the changes here on the channel. And then we'll get into our topic for today. Over at the main page of the channel, you can see a video that we're highlighting. This one is one that we did on Azure Files with Active Directory authentication for Windows Virtual Desktop and FS Logics. And that video will change periodically. And so a little further down the screen, we have the uploaded videos section, as well as the different learning paths, which are the playlists that are here. And the last thing that I'll point out here is on the About page. And so we have recently passed 8,700 subscribers. So again, a big thank you to everyone who clicks that subscribe button and supports us at the Azure Academy. And here you can read a little bit about myself as well as the mission of the Azure Academy. And we want to help everyone to learn all about Azure. And all of our content here is free now and always so that you can learn as much as you want to. And so with that, what I'd like to teach you about today is going to be very relevant for what's going on in the world. Of course, a lot of us find ourselves now in work from home type scenarios, and there's a very big emphasis on Windows Virtual Desktop. Of course, we've covered quite a lot about Windows Virtual Desktop on our channel. And if you take a look at our playlist here, we currently have 16 videos covering the different areas of Virtual Desktop as well as specific scenarios. So definitely something I'd encourage you to check out if you haven't already, if you're interested in that topic. And along with that, I just want to show you some other materials that are related to Virtual Desktop that you can take advantage of. Again, this is all free. And that very first thing would be the Azure documentation page. And we can scroll down just a little bit and you can see Windows Virtual Desktop is one of the featured items. And on the docs page, you'll find pretty much everything you need to know about Virtual Desktop, everything from tutorials on how to set it up that are extremely well written. In the how-to section, things about specific topics or scenarios. For example, setting up MSIX app attach. That is in public preview right now, and the product group is working hard on that to make it a great experience. And under the Concepts tab, you can read some things about some of the supporting solutions or technologies around Virtual Desktop, like FS Logics, as well as the many partner integrations. And there is a long list of partners here, and they certainly have all of their specialties, so check them out as well. There is also a troubleshooting section here in case you run into some issues through your deployments or client connectivity problems, so another good resource for you. Then under the reference section, you'll find our articles here on Linux support, and the Linux SDK was released recently. Partners now can go and develop these Linux thin clients to be able to work with Virtual Desktop, which is pretty awesome. And you can customize your Virtual Desktop experience for your users or your customers through the RDP file settings. You can read all about that stuff on this link. And you can also check out the link on network guidance because your bandwidth is going to greatly affect your Virtual Desktop experience for you and your customers. And that's everything from estimations on your types of workloads, light, medium, heavy, and power user recommendations, as well as different display resolutions, which also will have bandwidth requirements. So just keep those in mind around your user experience. Then, of course, virtual machine sizing guidelines. And this is a question that I get very often, which is how many users can I pack onto a single VM and still maintain a good user experience? Now that of course depends greatly on what those users are doing on those VMs. So for example, if you have users who are just running a web browser, that's obviously going to be a very different requirement on the system than it is users running Visual Studio. The basic formula to think about is what are the applications that they're using and what are the requirements of those applications from a CPU RAM perspective, as well as your disk IOPS, network throughput and bandwidth, those type of things. And that'll give you, according to our sizing chart here, a rough estimate of where you should start. The beauty of this all being in the cloud is that if you pick a size that isn't working for you, you can always change it. You can scale up or scale down that VM whenever you want to. So don't look at this as if you don't make the right decision up front, then you've ruined everything. Not at all. This is the cloud. We can change on demand. And under the resources tab here, there are several links that I want to draw your attention to. One of which here is user voice. User voice is a place where you can interact back with the community and with the virtual desktop product team. So you can always upvote on other people's suggestions or post your own. So it's a good way to get your voice to be heard. So definitely take advantage of that. And there's also a link here for the M365 roadmap. So let's open that real quick. So this is where we're posting all of the stuff around the updates to WVD, and you can see what's coming and the approximate release dates for those new features or services. And then of course this goes beyond just virtual desktop. As you can see, there's other stuff around the Enterprise Mobility and Security Suite and Office 365 that are here. So definitely a place to keep an eye out for all of those latest updates. And then there is also a link here for the community support group. So this is a great place to come and try to get help if you run into an issue, as well as contribute here and help out others. You know, this is all a community that we're all a part of, and the more that we can help each other out, the better. And then finally today, we want to take a look at the learning path. Now, this brings you over to Microsoft Learn. And if you're unfamiliar with Learn, this is another free platform that's out here to enable you to just get the most that you can out of Microsoft services. So this goes beyond Azure. You can click up here and select the different learning paths and focus on either Azure, Dynamics, M365, Power Platform, or just take a browse at all of the different paths. And you can filter your search here based on different products. So we could look at automation, and you can see there's 3 courses here so far. And if we select instead .NET Core, there are currently 17 different courses here that you can all learn about and take advantage of. Now, in particular, we were focusing in on virtual desktop, and there are 5 different courses here that you can go through, which I have. Basic format here is we'll tell you a little bit about what this course is going to cover, and then there is a start button as well as any prerequisites that you need for this course, and you can just click start to begin the course or click on each individual module. So we'll click on start, and this is a quick introduction about Windows Virtual Desktop, as well as a video here on the Microsoft Mechanics series on Windows Virtual Desktop Essentials, another great resource for you to look into. And as we continue to the second page, we have the 3 major areas of getting prepared for WVD, as well as deploying it and then optimizing that deployment once that is done. And then each module here ends with a knowledge check here just to see that you've learned what the course was covering, and then you can answer the questions and click here to check your answers. And then of course you'll be rewarded with points if you answer everything correctly, and then you can brag to all your friends that you're whipping them on the leaderboards. So again, I want to just say a huge thank you to everyone who has supported the Azure Academy by subscribing, clicking the like button, and sharing our content with others. And this has been 100 videos on the Azure Academy. Thanks very much for all of your encouragement. It helps me to keep on going. And please give us some comments below on any future topics that you're interested in that we can make for you. We just want to help everyone learn all about Azure. So thanks again for joining us on the first 100, and here's to the next 100 videos. Happy learning!